Hello, cool people. My name is John, aka Yugi Moto Jeans, and today, what the cool people are talking about is
Style.
whilst why style has become the hardest thing to find in 2024, what our environment and our current state and society has done to make that the hardest thing possible, and what you can do to make your style so much more better. So, if you go on any fashion, social media, blog content space, a lot of times a lot of people would complain is no one is original and how no one has any style.
I don't bring shit to the table, bitch. I don't even have the fucking table.
And the first thing I see when it comes to style is this core epidemic. Everything is bunched up into a singular core, whether it's bloke core, jock core, ballet core, cottage core, old money core, all these different cores. And while I think cores can be good outlines, I think they are very devastating to finding your own personal style. When I analyze a lot of these cores, what they do, it seems like there's one person that just knows everything about the core and sets these unspoken rules with the content they put out. And then what people do is follow them, interact with them, and they kind of abide by these unspoken rules to fit into this core. And to me, this is such a frustrating way to find your own identity and your own style. Imagine shopping and let's say you're trying to do bloke core and you find this really cool shirt, it fits well and stuff like that, and you're just like, well, it doesn't really fit the aesthetic or the core that I want to go for, so I'm just going to put it back. That seems insane. Like, I just never would do that. And when I see that, I see it as boxing yourself into one singular identity when in real life, we have multiple things that inspire us. And I agree with some people when they say no one's stylish anymore. It's because so many people are following these rules and there's no individuality. There's no point of view that's being presented when you are wearing something. And like I said, I think cores can be good outlines, but if you're using them to such a T and there's such reliance on them, then it's just sad. And it's like you've told us everything about you. There's no story behind you. Nothing makes you interesting. And I think that causes a lot of internal strife within the person because we're all smart individuals. We pick up on things. We pick up on how people feel about our style. And I think it causes people to go from core to core so fast, and it becomes a frustrating process. And then we just kind of internally blow up. And I think the main driver of this is social media and how we interact with it. We use social media as this end all be all. Look at the reliance of ChatGPT now. People, even like college students, are using their ChatGPT to get through their whole degree without thumbing through a book, using note cards, studying anything. Everything is just like spit it back out to me so I don't have to use any brain power. And fashion is something that's so anti ChatGPT spit out a plan for me. Everyone just wants a plan and no one wants to figure out what they want to do want to not figure out what to do, want to figure out to mold their own plan.
When do it becomes?
And what really started this kind of, to me, what I like to call chat GPT style finding
What would you do if when you okay, so he said yes would go?
is the pandemic. And what happened is the pandemic forced us to stay inside for months to years for some people. And what that caused is we were just on our phone for 8 to 10 hours a day, literally a full work shift, just glued to our phones. And people thought that was the best way to find their style. But realistically, your style is found by your lived experiences outside in the world. When I think about my style is very influenced by sports memorabilia and sports like events and stuff. It's inspired by anime. It's inspired very cyberpunky kind of vibes here and there, but it's an amalgamation of all those because I've lived through all those things. It's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that. Even right now, I got an Eric Emanuel t-shirt, which is very sports inspired. And that's the thing. The world shapes your fashion. And when we were in the pandemic, we just had these rule books to follow. And it was, hey, well, I want to look like this guy because he has a lot of followers and he has a lot of clout. So I'm going to start dressing like him. And then 6 months down the road, you're like, I really hate this. Or it's just passed on. It's like, oh, he's not the cool guy anymore. I want to dress like the other cool guy. And it's just this competition, which causes a lot of financial strain on the consumer or the person and causes a lot of mental internal strife with you because you're like, why do I not feel like a person? Why can't I express myself through my clothes? And that kind of goes on to my next point where Your style is always evolving. I think a lot of people have this thing where they're going to find their style and that's the end point. This is my style. No, you always have to keep that open. It would be not fun to not keep that open. Like where, oh, like maybe I might like this or like that. And that's the beautiful thing about fashion. You can keep things that you really love in the moment, and then you can remove things and add things. You can sell things. So it's like if you buy very cool things at one point, then it's like, oh, I can like give these to someone else that is now in this style, and then I can evolve my own style. Like my 18-year-old self would not dress how my 27-year-old self would dress, and vice versa. It's just so funny how people think style reaches an endpoint when it really is always evolving. And I think one way we can counteract this chat GPT-fication of style is using more mood boards. And I don't mean like a Pinterest, because Pinterest, I feel like it's so ad driven now that you don't really get a real sense of what's out there. But more so, literally go and print out stuff at a Staples or wherever you print out stuff, or if you have a printer, and put it on your wall or something. And if you do that, you can see how so many different things inspire you. I would literally there'd be Yugi Moto up here, and then Virgil Abloh up here, and then Playboy Cardi up here, and then X-Athlete up here, or Dennis Rodman. I have so many style inspirations that I'm like, oh, I'm not just driven by this one core. And I think so many other people have the ability to see where their styles come from, what their style preferences come from. Yeah, you need to get your ass to a Staples and find your mood board, and I promise you'll find something that's so different about you because you have your own unique perspective. That's what fashion is. It's just your perspective in the manifesting in clothes. And when it comes to style, you have to understand that it's a reflection of your lived experiences. And you didn't live your life as a ballet dancer. So why are you trying to dress ballet core? Just because Lily Rose Depp did it for 3 months, or she did a lookbook for it, so you gotta look like her? Or like freaking any fashion influencer had like archive this, so you gotta spend 2 racks to get an archival piece. Come on. No, figure out what you liked. Did you like Minecraft or this or that? You can find style inspiration in anything. And that's what's going to make you feel the most comfortable in your clothes, not trying to mimic someone else's style. Like one of the biggest things too is just have fun with fashion. Fashion doesn't have to be so serious, and it's made to be so serious because people make good livelihoods off of it, and a lot of people want to oppress people on social media and stuff. But that is so anti-fashion to me. Literally put on the craziest thing. Put on a Minecraft hoodie. There's one person that I really love, Luke Blovid or Blove or whatever. He like did these crazy outfits where it was like meme cartoon, almost legit baby tees, because it was like Minecraft stuff, meme stuff. And it was just so fresh and so fun. And what that also does is it creates genuine feedback from others. And my personal opinion, if someone comes up to you, if a lot of people are like very like looking at your style and like have questions about it, I feel like that's how you're successful in your style at that point. I feel like if people are just like, oh yeah, that makes sense, that's cute, da da da. But if people are like thinking about your clothes, that's like you've made it. That's like style right there. Yeah, like I said before, I think fashion just becomes so serious and so unfun because people are always trying to make a buck off of like social media and portraying themselves, and it's give it up. Just be yourself. Find your influences, which is such a kind of boring take. Like, be yourself, but like, seriously, put up a mood board and see what actually inspires you. And this is how we redirect a ship to find your personal style. Literally just analyze where you are at. What inspires you right now? What's a movie that you really love? What's a book that you love? You can even use creators that you love, but put them all together. Don't take this creator and be like, I want to be like him. No, use little bits of that. Use little, like, oh, what comic books do you like? Or what sports teams do you like? Or what people in general just influence you? Or even music. I take so much stylistic inspiration from music. Even with the rise of like Ethel Cain, there's so many people that are dressing in camo and very gothic kind of clothes. And you can do this without financial strain. I think that's the big thing is you see like a influencer and it's like, oh, they have a $600 bag. Okay, well, I need to get the $600 bag. Let's not do the rise of dupes, which is a whole nother video. But just don't, like, you can do finding stuff within yourself is a lot less financially straining than going and trying to buy a designer bag to fit in. And if this isn't clear enough, don't define yourself to a core. I think you can use cores as an outline, but it's really tricky to see that all the time and not get so wrapped up into it. And also too, this is something I want to say this whole conversation is stuff that I've seen so many fashion commentators talk about. Ryan Finn, who's the other girl that I love, Alexander Hildreth, and just so many other fashion people talk about this. So I want to put their names out there because they're so much better at this than I am. But also to make things. If you think of something, attempt to make it or find out what you have to do to make it. It'll just make you appreciate fashion so much more. And even if you're just getting into a little bit, you don't have to buy thousands of dollars worth of stuff, but see what you can do to make it. And then last but not least, just go outside. I promise you, if you do things that put you out of your comfort zone, or you just go outside and meet people, or go to certain places, anything can inspire you. A fucking building, a house, the cracks in the sidewalk can inspire you. Like, it's that simple. I shouldn't say it's that simple. It's once you overcome like the social media, like the chat GPTification of fashion, then it gets so much easier. What do you guys think of the video? Did you like it? Did you love it? If you loved it, please let me know. Please like it and subscribe for more fashion and music content. If you hated it, let me know in the comments. Let's put some dialogue in there. If I missed on anything crazy, let me know and I can maybe make another video about it. Hopefully this video finds you well, and see you later.